This is an application problem using the law of cosines. So to help you out, I did snapshot the image of the word problem. So two airplanes leave an airport at the same time, flying at different runways. One flies on a bearing of north 66 degrees west. So if you remember our bearings from our last unit, here's the north-south line. And this is going to the west 66 degrees. So that's what this is right here. And it travels 325 miles per hour. I'm going to go down to the next sentence here. It's a question. It says, how far apart will it be in 2 hours? So if this plane is traveling 325 miles in 1 hour, then you would double that value. Your plane is now 650 miles in 2 hours. So that's this distance. Now, here's your plane sitting out here, 650 miles. All right. The next airplane flies on a bearing of south 26 degrees west. So here's that same north-south line, and it is going west 26 degrees, and it travels 300 miles per hour. So 300 miles in 1 hour, and again, we're 2 hours past. So this plane is now 600 miles away from its airport. So this distance now is here, 600 miles. And it asks us, once the two planes are 2 hours apart, how far apart are the two airplanes? So B represents the airport, C represents plane 1, angle A position is plane 2. And we want to find the distance from those two vertices. We want to find side B. So in order for us to use the law of cosines, we need to know angle B. So step 1, find angle B. Well, this north-south line adds to 180 degrees. It's getting a little messy there, so let me just erase it a little bit. Okay. So this is 66 degrees, and this is 26 degrees. We can subtract out those two angles from 180 to give us this angle B. So angle B, we're going to subtract the 66 which is the bearing on the first airplane, and the 26 degrees, which was the bearing on the second airplane, and that angle B in the triangle is going to help us later on with our law of cosines. So here's 88 degrees. So now I'm going to go ahead and erase that. I have this angle of 88 degrees in the triangle. So here's my triangle. I want to find side B. I have the other two sides. So I have a side angle, side triangle. Now I'm able to use the law of cosines. So I'm going to add a page here. So number 2, use the law of cosines to find side B. So law of cosines is B squared equals A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of B. And then we would substitute those values in from the previous slide. So going back to that previous slide, this was our angle, 88 degrees. That's our big B. This is our side A and our side C. And we're going to find that side right there. So we sub in those values into our formula. 650 squared plus 600 squared minus 2AC cosine of angle B, which is 88 degrees. You want to substitute that in your calculator, and we're going to get about 755,278. We then want to undo that b squared, so we're going to square root both sides. That b value is about 869 miles. What did we find out? That those two planes are about 869 miles apart. So here's plane 1, and here's plane 2. This distance that we just found is 869 miles.